Hi everyone, we're back at Brightfield Business Hub for our next Hubcast podcast with me, Michelle Craig. This time we have Josh Eyre with us. He's one of our tenants here. He runs the gym, Eyre Athletic, and he's here and going to tell us everything about the gym, how it works, and any classes, anything that people will want to know.
Marvellous. Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'll just give you a brief overview of sort of what we do. So we've actually got two facilities, but I'll primarily talk about the one here in Peterborough. So we work with what we call large group personal training. So whereas you take like your commercial gym, so your big, your David Lloyd, your Ballantines, Virgins, and typically you go in, you have an induction, and you have a little program card, you sort of follow it around, and you sort of left your own devices. And for, I would say, 90% of people, like, where do you go from there? That small 10% of people who sort of know what they're doing, and the other 90, they don't know what they're doing really. So what we like to do is, every time you come into the gym, you're with a personal trainer. So you're not always going to the same machines all the time.
Okay. You're
not always doing the same exercises. And for example, if you said, I'm going to the gym Monday, Tuesday, and don't go Wednesday, no one knows you're going to be there or not, do they? Whereas like, you don't turn up to one of our PT sessions where we're like, Michelle, where are you?
Yes,
like,
true.
So the accountability is there. So like I was saying, so you've got, every time you come into the gym with a PT, you've got the accountability. And then the most important thing and the best thing with that is you're surrounded by like-minded people. So let's say you came to me and said, actually, I've got a wedding coming up, I want to fit in this dress again, whatever. Everyone else has got the same sort of goal, so no one's there just for the sake of it to go from A from B.
Yes.
They're all there with a real motive and intensity, which is great, and it's just normal people. Like one of the lines I've used recently is just, with normal people, we're just getting really good results. Like the average person doesn't want to run a marathon or have a six-pack. They just want to feel comfortable on the beach.
Yes.
Take the shirt off, not have to untuck their top every time they stand up from dinner. They just want to have a normal thing where they want to run after their grandkids.
Yeah.
They want to be able to fit on a plane without having to squish themselves in, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, just normal people. And we do that. Like, we do really well with that. So, like I said, you work with a personal trainer, you work with nutritionists, and you surround yourself with a network of good people. Just normal people, really.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to say within a gym as well, sometimes I find, especially if it's people that go regularly, then people spur each other on, don't they? And then it makes you feel like you want to do it, because everyone's in the same boat, and then the PTs spur you on as well, and it gets a bit more interesting, a bit more enjoyable for people, I think, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not working by yourself, right? You'll always be working with someone. So we always like to try and sort of pair people up a little bit, or buddy them up if you want to work like that. So you're not just coming in with your headphones in and doing the same stuff over and over again. You come in, the session's mapped out on the board, we're doing this. You guys are together, similar abilities, and you push each other. To a degree, us personal trainers almost don't need to be there because the session sort of looks after itself.
Yeah.
We're there making sure no one's getting injured, everyone's form's right, the vibe, the atmosphere is where it needs to be. Good music, obviously.
Yeah.
And we just sort of facilitate it. The community and people sort of look after themselves. And honestly, it's so nice to watch. It really is.
It is. I must admit, I've seen your videos that you do put out on social media and that, and it looks like everyone's enjoying themselves. And as well, yeah, you're right when you say about, people normally go with their headphones in, do the same thing all the time. I must admit, I went to the gym years ago, put headphones in, and I just used to run on the treadmill. And after a while, I got a bit bored. So then I did change things up a little bit. We're going back a bit now, though. But yeah, no, that's good that way. So what sort of equipment do you have?
So we, obviously you see it everywhere, don't you? See like, the latest fad, everyone's doing high rocks is a big thing at the moment.
Yes.
Or fill in a blank, it changes all the time, right? So we just stripped it back to the basics. So we do strength sessions. So think sort of barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, functional stuff. So just the foundation. So like learning how to pick a ball off the floor. So you think you fast forward 50 years, you're just trying to stand up or pick your dog up off the floor, take the vets. Basic things like that.
Yeah.
And then we do something called aerobics. Nice little play on words there. But effectively it's like a conditioning session, so intervals. So you might do a certain amount of calories or distance on a bike, then you sort of move on to, let's say, a sit-up or something like that.
Okay.
The aerobics is quite free flowing, and sometimes it's sort of you work as an individual, sometimes you work as like a pair, sometimes it's sort of like 2 teams of 5 or 10. So the camaraderies, the community and social bit for aerobics is much, much higher, whereas strength is more sort of the foundational work for everything. Like everything comes from strength. Like if you're moving house at the weekend, you want to come to Monday and think, oh, actually I feel alright, not on my back's broken,
Yes.
I just need physio.
Yeah.
Like there's just little things like that. There's normal people with normal agendas trying to make their life easier.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, so session wise, that's all we do, just do the basics. Really good strength sessions, really good aerobic sessions just to work your heart and get longevity. And that's it. No fluff, no high rocks, no spin or hoop or pole dancing.
Yeah.
Just the basics really, really well.
Oh, okay, cool. No, that sounds really good. And do you have packages for different things, or is it all just...
It is all relatively similar. So everyone who sort of comes into the ecosystem, so as you guys listening probably are aware, when you go into a gym, it's quite, you can feel intimidated, right? So like you said about going with headphones. So a lot of people walk into these big gyms with headphones in and think everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not the case, but people are still in that mindset because it's still branding as a gym, so they're still a bit wary. So we always try to get everyone to come in for like a 6-week program.
Okay.
So 6 weeks, it's not a massive commitment, and you can see some pretty good results in that. So usually about the 4-week mark, you start to notice it. Oh, my jeans are a bit looser. Oh, my spots are cleared up, so I'm not as hormonal or whatever. And you start to notice these things, right?
Yeah.
So we always offer like a 6-week program to everyone. So you get like nutrition side and the training side of it all with it as well, and that sort of price is at $197. And like I said, it's not a massive amount of money and it's not a massive commitment. From there, let's say they said to us at the end, Josh, this is wicked, like I've lost 10 pounds, my wedding dress is going to be amazing, etc, etc. And I said, oh, how do I continue this? We literally just move them on to a subscription model, which works out similar, but they basically get to do sort of, they can either maintain sort of 2 or 3 sessions a week,
Okay.
or if they want to, they can add a 4th one in. For the average person, 2 to 4, fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, just off the back of that, we usually say, let's say you've got someone who's really sedentary and is sat down a lot, they probably want to do more like 4 sessions a week, because they're just trying to combat that total calorie expenditure for the week. Whereas if you've got someone who's on the maintenance department here, like they're on their feet all day, right? They're always moving. Their calorie expenditure is high as it is all day, so they probably usually need 2 sessions a week, just to supplement it really.
Yeah.
So it very much then depends on what your week looks like, and that can change week to week, month to month.
Okay.
So what we always say is this program, this lifestyle, which is what it is, needs to coincide with what's going on. So family life, like if you're cooking for you, 3 of the kids and your husband, like you can't be cooking 5 different meals. You want one meal that's going to fit for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't do 6:30 in the morning, don't come at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Come at 5 in the evening or 9 in the morning or whatever. Like it very much needs to coincide, and that's it's a lifestyle. It's not just a 6-week program. It's longevity.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's got to fit in with people as well that are working or got kid runs or whatever they might do. So it sounds like it's pretty flexible for people to.
Really flexible.
Yeah.
I mean, like we look at the coaches, like all the coaches are with children. Like Elise is a single parent. Like we as a team understand that life happens, and it's not just, you don't just work a 9 to 5, right?
No, that's right.
Like your kids are real. Like, you can pick your kid up from work. You can't make this session. And again, like the normal person, the average age of our gym, I think it's 58. We worked out.
Okay.
Like that's just normal people.
Yeah.
We're not got 20-year-olds running around with their shirts off. Like so, everyone in that environment, right, understands. Like, oh, Sally looks a bit down. We're going to speak to Sally. What's up? Oh, my kid was up all night being sick. Oh yeah, mine was doing that as well recently. And like everyone just appreciates that, and it's just such a wholesome environment to be in. It really is.
Yeah, it sounds like as well that it's probably a bit of a, mental health. Helps with that as well. People talking to each other, and if everyone has the same issues, they get to know each other and start telling each other things.
Exactly, it's a network. So usually at the 6-week point, like I said, someone comes in on that program, we always like to sit down with them and sort of say, have you found it? And usually it's feel stronger, lost a bit of weight. As a general rule, there's other things in there as well, right?
Yeah.
But then they said, oh, actually, I feel so much better. Like, I've got more energy during the day. Or my wife's noticed I've changed my attitude a little bit. Or my kids are, you're playing with me more, Dad. Like, and she's, like you said, the mental health side of things very much goes under the radar, and you don't know what you've not got until you got it, right?
Yeah.
So when you feel, you know, it's like when you feel your best, and you know when you're at your best, you can't beat that. You really can't. And trying to sell that to someone who's not experienced that, it's difficult. But when you've got it, it's good. So yeah, you're right. The mental health side of things is massive.
Yeah,
it really is.
It sounds like it's the whole package really for people. What about access? Is it a 24/7 access gym or?
Good question. So everyone who comes into the program, obviously session-wise, PT session-wise, there's obviously structured sessions. So you can't just turn up at 2 a.m. in the morning. We'll expect us to be there. It's not feasible. But the sessions sort of from 6:30 in the morning all the way till 7:30 at night. So the sessions sort of dotted around for the day.
Okay.
You do then also get access to the gym, so you can use the facility, you can use the equipment outside of those sessions 24 hours a day.
Okay.
So if you're a shift worker, for example, and you're on nights or whatever, and you're coming at 1 o'clock in the morning, or you're waiting for an airport run or whatever, you have got access to that outside, and you come and go with a fob system, let yourself in, let yourself out, and you've also got access to that on top of that, just to supplement obviously the training with PTs on top.
No, that's good, because if people don't want to attend classes or do anything structured like that, at least if they want to go to the gym, they know whatever time they want. You know, if people finish a shift early in the morning, early hours of the morning, you know, they know they can still get a workout and, you know, still feel good and make themselves
exactly. It's just being flexible and accessible for everyone. Really. That's our motto, really.
That's good. That sounds really interesting. And if people want to get hold of you to find out any information, how they can join, how can they do that?
Good question. So if you're a tenant or you're in about the building, just come to the gym office. Usually one of us is in there. We can sort of sit down with you and go through that. Alternatively, best way is social media, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. So just Eyre Athletic Peterborough, which is obviously the Peterborough branch, or Deeping, which is the Deeping branch, which is slightly different but a bit far afield. Alternatively, just go to eyreathletic.co.uk, and on there you have two options whether you want to contact the Market Deeping side of the gym or the Peterborough side of the gym, and we can just communicate through there. That's probably the easiest way.
What I'll do is I'll put the links in the description on here, so when people watch this they can contact you and find out more.
Superb.
Thanks for coming with us today, Josh. So if you want to get healthy, keep fit, keep happy, check out the links for Eyre Athletic and get in touch with Josh. See you soon.
Bye bye.